Hey, welcome to part 4 of the Real Life English series. My goal as your teacher is to help you sound more like a native English speaker. In order to do that, you must learn real life English. And that's what I'm going to teach you in today's lesson. Are you ready? Well then, I'm teacher Tiffany. Let's jump right in. All right, so I want to show you a picture really quickly. Now, this picture shows you something that so many native English speakers love, and you probably love it too. This is a picture of some delicious food. But you see, if I was looking at this in real life, I would say scrumptious. One more time after me. Watch my mouth. Scrumptious. Excellent. One more time. Scrumptious. Very good. Now, when I look at that cake and all of the things on top of it, as a native English speaker, my first response is to say, ooh wee, this cake looks scrumptious. Now, you may have some troubles with your pronunciation, but don't worry. Remember, you can always download the English with Tiffani app. The link is right in the description, and I have a few lessons in there about pronunciation. But you're probably wondering, teacher, what does scrumptious mean? So let me explain. Scrumptious just means extremely tasty. I want you to think about your favorite food. Maybe it's macaroni and cheese. Maybe it's something that is specifically unique to your culture. Think about that dish and how your mouth starts to water. That's because it's delicious or it's scrumptious. Excellent. Now, let me give you an example sentence. Here we go. The cake she made was scrumptious. Makes sense, right? Now, what I want you to do is in the comment section right now, I want you to tell me something about your culture, a food that is very unique to your culture, and tell me that it's scrumptious. Make your own sentence and put it in the comment section. Remember, real life English. Now, this is something that I want you to use on a regular basis, but let me show you a sentence pattern, all right? Now, when you write your comment, if you need help, you can use this sentence pattern. Here we go. The blank, the name of the food, was extremely scrumptious. Very simple, right? Now, look how I would use this pattern to make a sentence. The banana nut bread my mom made was extremely scrumptious. Makes sense, right? Now, at the end, don't go anywhere. I'm going to tell you a story for story time. Hey, and this story is going to be related to banana nut bread. So don't go anywhere, all right? So scrumptious, something that you like that's very delicious. It's scrumptious. Make sense? All right, very good. Now, let me show you the next real English word. So we're still looking at the same picture, but this time I go down a little further and I see this chocolate fudge and I say drizzle. After me, drizzle. Excellent. Watch me again. Drizzle. Very good. Now, what does this word drizzle mean, and why do native English speakers use this word? You see, drizzle means to pour liquid slowly over something, especially in a line, a thin line, or in small drops. So again, we saw the cake. It looked scrumptious. And then we saw the chocolate, fudge just coming down on the side. We say they drizzled chocolate. Maybe you like to bake or cook and you like to drizzle things on your food, huh? All right, so let me give you an example sentence. The chef drizzled the syrup over the pancakes. You know, true story. This past weekend on Sunday, I actually had my family and my friends over, and I actually cooked food for them. And I made something that required them to drizzle some syrup over their food. Makes sense, right? Now, let me give you a pattern that you can use so that you can use this real English word easily, okay? So here's the pattern. I like to drizzle, say what it is, over, and then say the food item. For example, I like to drizzle syrup over waffles. Makes sense, right? Now look what I said. I like to drizzle agave. Agave is a type of natural syrup over my cinnamon pancakes. Man, can't you just imagine eating something delicious and then drizzling some liquid, some sweetener on the top of it? We say drizzle in English. Now, before I go to the next one, I want to give you your first quiz. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. All right, we have quiz number 1. I want to make sure you're understanding these real life English vocabulary words. So you're going to have 5 seconds to answer. I want you to think quickly, all right? We learned drizzle, and we also learned, what was the other one? Scrumptious. Very good. All right, here's the first question. And again, you will have only 5 seconds. So here we go. The first question is, my niece asked me if she could the syrup over her food. 5 seconds. Time. All right. What's the answer? Yes, you got it. Excellent. She asked me if she could drizzle the syrup over her food. Excellent. All right. Now let's look at question number 2. Here we go. Now again, I'll start the timer over. The cupcakes she made were, what's the answer? 5 seconds. Time. What's the answer? Excellent. You got it. They were scrumptious. Went away. I brought it back. They were scrumptious. Again, extremely tasty, very delicious. So we have scrumptious and drizzle. Now, if we go back to our image of this wonderful cake, we're going to see something else that pops up. We have drizzle, we have scrumptious, but when we go to the next part of this picture, look what happens. Now we have visually appealing. Again, after me, visually appealing. Yeah, that V sound can be tricky. For the V sound, all I want you to do is put your front teeth on your bottom lip and vibrate. So, V. Excellent. Again, I teach all of this in the English with Tiffani app. My app, click the link in the description. So again, visually appealing. Excellent. Now, what does visually appealing actually mean? So visually appealing, this expression means to look good or attractive. Something looks good or attractive. Hopefully you can see appealing. There you go. Something looks good or attractive. When a man comes in with a nice suit, whoo, now that brother is visually appealing. Or when you make something delicious, something scrumptious, some food, and you want to make sure it looks good. You drizzle the dressing over the salad. You place different pieces at just the right spots. You want to make sure your food is visually appealing. Again, real life English that we as native English speakers use. So let me give you an example sentence. Here we go. It's always important to make sure your food is visually appealing. That makes sense, right? When something looks good, it's usually a lot tastier, right? Okay, so let me give you an example pattern sentence. Here we go. I want to make sure that my ... is or are visually appealing. That's the pattern. Remember, you can write down the pattern, but don't worry. If you're not able to take notes, all you have to do is go to my website, speakenglishwithtiffani.com, and you'll see the notes for this episode as well. So let me tell you the sentence I would make using this pattern. I want to make sure that my outfit is visually appealing, right? Visually appealing. Now, you can see right now I'm wearing the shirt with the Speak English with Tiffani logo, and it is visually appealing. It looks good. It looks attractive. So again, we have this pattern. I want to make sure that my outfit is visually appealing. Make sense? All right, good job. So let's go to the next part. Here we go. Looking at the picture, now we're moving to the top section again. Ooh, this upside down waffle cone. temptation. Temptation. After me, temptation. Excellent. One more time. Temptation. Very good. Now, what does this word temptation actually mean? Temptation means the wish to do or have something that you know you should not do or have. Now, in the picture, remember, in the picture, there was an upside down waffle cone with chocolate around the edges and sprinkles. And can you imagine having an ice cream cone set inside the ice cream scoop right on top of that waffle cone? But maybe you're on a diet. Maybe you're watching your figure, you're trying to stay in shape, and you know you shouldn't have that ice cream cone. That is why it's a temptation. Haha, it makes sense, right? Okay, let's look at an example sentence. Here we go. He tried to resist the temptation to eat all of the pie in one sitting at one time. He said, oh my goodness, this pie is so good. I know that I shouldn't eat all of it, but ooh, baby, it looks good. It's a temptation. Make sense? All right, good. Let's look at an example pattern, all right? A pattern for this one. Here we go. I gave in to temptation and ... What action? What did you do? What did you fall into? So, for example, I said, I gave in to temptation and bought a big tub of ice cream. Remember, we were talking about trying to keep our figures nice, trying to stay healthy and in shape. But that ice cream, it looked so good. Growing up, true story, I loved mint chocolate chip ice cream. Every time I went to Baskin Robbins or an ice cream shop, I would get mint chocolate chip. Mint chocolate chip, it's my temptation. It tempts me every time. So again, I gave in to temptation and bought a big tub of ice cream. Make sense? All right, good job. Now, what about the next one? Again, looking at the picture one more time, and we're going to the other side. Oh man, we have these macaroons again. And now we have the word indulge. After me, indulge. Yeah, that L and G combination can be a little bit tricky. So let's do it one last time. Indulge. You got it. Excellent job. Now, what does indulge mean? Indulge. Let me show you the definition before the pattern. Here we go. Indulge just means to allow yourself or another person to have something enjoyable, especially more than is good for you. So remember, we just learned temptation. I said mint chocolate chip. I love it. I bought a big tub of this ice cream. Now, I shouldn't eat the ice cream all at one time, right? But if I indulge, it means, hey, come on now, you enjoy it. Just go ahead and do it. You can go ahead and indulge. Eat more than you really should. Do more than you really should. In English, this real English vocabulary word is indulge. So let me give you a sentence. I decided to indulge in a big bowl of ice cream. Now, many of you are probably like, wow, Teacher Tiffani really loves ice cream. I do like ice cream. I'm vegan. That's another fact. So I eat vegan ice cream, but it's a great example of a temptation, something you want to indulge in, right? Okay, so let me give you a pattern now that you can use. Here we go. I like to indulge in ... I want you to use this pattern. This is a very interactive class, an interactive lesson. In the comments section, I want you to tell me, what do you like to indulge in? I've mentioned ice cream. Maybe you like something else. So here's the example sentence using the pattern. I like to indulge in cookies when I get home from work. You see, I actually told a time. I expressed even more about my temptation and what I like to indulge in and when I like to indulge in it. So you can use this pattern and write your own sentence in the chat area. So again, I like to indulge in ... Let us all know what you personally like to indulge in. Now you know what time it is. Quiz number 2. All right, now we have our second quiz. Now remember, you only have 5 seconds for each question. So the first question, here we go. First question. The food I ate yesterday was absolutely, 5 seconds. Time. What's the answer? Yes, scrumptious. Excellent job. Very, very good. Excellent. The food was scrumptious. Now, question number 2. Again, I'll reset the timer. You have 5 seconds. Here's the question. Fill in the blank. The plate the chef presented to us was very, 5 seconds. Time. What's the answer? Yes, visually appealing. Excellent job. You really learned a lot. Here we go. Question number 3. Resetting the timer again. Here we go. I love cookies, but I don't often myself. 5 seconds. Time. What's the answer? Yes, good job. Indulge myself. Excellent job. All right, question number 4. We have 2 more questions. Again, resetting the timer. My niece loves to honey over her biscuits. 5 seconds. Here we go. 5 seconds. Time. What's the answer? Excellent. Yes, drizzle honey over her biscuits. Very good. All right, last question. Let's see if you can get all 5 correct. Here we go. Resetting the timer. Here's the go. Here we go. The woman decided to resist to steal the money. What is the answer? Time started and time is ended. What's the answer? Excellent. Temptation. The woman decided to resist the temptation to steal the money. Excellent job. You learned so much today in this lesson. I hope you use each and every one of the words and expressions that you learned in this real life English lesson. Don't forget, if you want to get help with your pronunciation, download the English with Tiffani app. And even if you don't need pronunciation help, there are a ton of other courses and lessons that you can find in the English with Tiffani app. Click the link right now and download it and start improving your English. Now, I will see you next week, but as always, remember to speak English. You still there? You know what time it is. It's story time. Hey, I said it's story time. All right. I told you guys earlier during the part of the lesson where I was talking about scrumptious and banana nut bread. So I want to tell you my earliest memory. Literally, I think I may have been 2 or 3 years old. I'm leaning more towards 2 years old. Now, I've told some of you this story, but one of my favorite desserts, one of my favorite breads is banana nut bread. I absolutely love banana nut bread. And my love for this scrumptious bread, you saw how I added that in there, came from my mother. So when I was about 2 years old, literally it feels like I'm in a movie because I can go right back to the day. I remember what was happening. I was walking down the hall in our home, again, 2 or 3 years old, and I saw my mom at a distance. She was in the kitchen, and my mom cooked a lot. She's a really good cook. So it wasn't abnormal to see her in the kitchen cooking. But I started to smell something so sweet. So I walked into the kitchen, and I remember my mom giving me a little stool so that I could see what she was doing. She said, "Okay, baby, come here." She put the stool right next to the stove. She had already taken out of the oven whatever it was that was smelling so good. So she was closing the oven, and she put it right on top of the oven. So she put the stool in front of me. I stepped on top of the stool, and what I saw had a lot of steam coming up from it. So she uncovered it, and it was beautiful, glistening, brown, the perfect browning of the top of the bread. And I said, Mommy, what is this? She said, baby, this is banana nut bread. Do you want some? Now, you know, I said, of course. Now, she sliced it. I remember slicing the bread, putting a little piece on a small plate for me, and she handed it to me. And when I put it in my mouth, it was soft. It was scrumptious. It was amazing. And since that time, banana nut bread has been my favorite bread. If anybody makes it, I will eat it. So maybe you have childhood memories that even to this day, years later, you still remember as if they happened yesterday. I remember the scrumptious banana nut bread my mother made. And every time someone brings it around me, even if I'm on a diet, I have to give in to temptation and I indulge in a piece of delicious, scrumptious banana nut bread. All right, guys, today's story was a little bit short, but I do want to know more about your childhood memories. So add your childhood memory, anything you want to share with us in the comment section below. Thanks again, guys, so much for joining. I can't wait to see you next week. I love you all. Have an awesome day.